The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting of February 23rd, 2026. We'll bring it to order. Up first, presentations. Tonight, we would like to welcome Paradigm Charter, a bus service to Regina.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, please sit down, introduce yourselves, and let us know what you have in store.
In front of you is a handout to follow along, as well as photos of our 36-passenger executive coach. Good evening, Mayor Cernick and members of council. My name is Jordan Kreitzer, and I'm the OH&S Director for Paradigm Charter Bus Lines. With me is Company President Scott Kreitzer. I am coming to you tonight not just as a representative of a transport company, but as someone who has lived right here in the Southeast for nearly a decade. Over the last 9 years, I have seen time and time again the growing isolation of our residents and the desperate need for a reliable public transportation. In my professional role in occupational health and safety, I see the risks our residents take every day driving long distances for essential services while fatigued or in poor conditions because they have no other choice. At Paradigm, we finally have the means, the motive, and the opportunity to bridge that gap. We're here tonight because we believe the residents of Estevan and area deserve their mobility and their safety back. Since the STC was dissolved in 2017, our region has effectively become an island. For our seniors, students, families, and local businesses, getting to the capital for a medical appointment or a specialized service isn't just an inconvenience, it has become a massive financial and logistical barrier. We are proposing the Southeast Express, a made-in-the-Southeast solution. We aren't just pitching a bus route, we are offering an option that restores independence to our citizens. By connecting Estevan and Weyburn to Regina, we ensure our residents remain connected participants in the provincial economy. Our model is a single day a week and is built on the Wednesday anchor strategy. We chose Wednesday specifically because it is the Goldilocks day for healthcare. Regina's specialized medical clinics, including a cancer clinic and major hospitals, peak their follow-up schedules midweek. This allows our residents to complete their healthcare, government, and retail needs in a single reliable window. I want to be clear about who we are. Paradigm is not a startup with a single van. We are an established, local, family-run operation. We maintain a satisfactory audited rating with SGI, which is the highest safety rating achievable. Our fleet of 36, 51, and 56 passenger coaches is monitored by GPS and maintained by our in-house mechanics. If a mechanical issue ever arises, we have the redundant capacity to swap vehicles instantly so that a trip is never canceled. What we are asking for tonight is not a financial subsidy or a budget allocation. We are independently launching this service. What we are seeking is a partnership in awareness. We are asking for the city's and key stakeholders' stamp of approval to validate this service for the residents who need it most. We propose a few simple, non-monetary collaboration points. Digital support, including the schedule on the city's website and social media channels. Digital hub integration, we ask for a permanent regional transit link on the City of Estevan's website that leads directly to our booking portal, making it easy for residents to find us. Major event presence, we would like to leverage high traffic regional events for promotional awareness, specifically during Estevan Bruins and Estevan Bears home games at Affinity Place. Education, helping us distribute how to ride guides at the leisure center, senior centers, and the public library to ensure our 55 plus demographic feels confident using our digital booking portal. And direct outreach, including service information and municipal mailers like utility bills to ensure every household knows this safe alternative to unregulated ride shares exists. By endorsing this run, the City of Estevan gains a professional transit department without adding a single person or pension liability to your payroll. You also fulfill key goals of the 2026-2030 accessibility plan by providing a lift-equipped, inclusive option for those with mobility challenges. I am ready to put my professional safety background and my personal commitment as a neighbor in this region to work. Over the last 9 years, I've seen what it looks like when our community is disconnected. I'm here because I want to see what we can achieve when we're moving again. Here at Paradigm Charter, we have the infrastructure, we have the safety record, and we have the passion for this community. We need your help in letting the people know that it is finally time to reopen the Southeast Corridor. Thank you for your time, and we welcome any questions.
Excellent, thanks for that. Thanks for coming in tonight. This is excellent news. Any questions, comments for the Councillor Leeser?
Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you for your presentation. One of my jobs is as a registered nurse at the hospital here in Estevan, and certainly we see this all the time. We are either relying on the bus service as the lowest cost option to get someone to an appointment, but then once they take an ambulance, they don't have the ability to take a support person with them, and then often all of those complex needs can't be addressed by themselves in the city for the day. When you discuss lift equipped, what type of mobility challenges? If someone has a wheelchair, they're able to ride with you, or?
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we do. Our bus comes equipped with a wheelchair lift. So they would just literally roll right on there. We lift them up to that height. They slide in. We move a couple of chairs back in the bus, and they slide right on in, and they're belted in.
Thank you. Is there anyone who this would not be an appropriate service for? If parents wanted to take a child to a medical appointment, are they permitted to book as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. These are coaches that you can utilize. The one I think that you have is an executive class coach, so that's for business professionals. That's also wheelchair equipped. Can be for sports teams. Can be for really anybody. It's built for comfort and safety. Yeah.
And my final recommendation would be to speak with the staff at the hospital. Often as we're discharging patients home, we are assisting in booking all of those appointments. So by having those handouts, having a good understanding of that Wednesday anchor, I think you'll see some uptake right away.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And again, I think that the importance here is obviously the marketing of this. Mm-hmm. We all understand that STC could make a go of it for whatever reasons. But I think that if we start off with this and, we communicate with our key stakeholders, such as yourselves and senior citizens' homes and those types of things, I think that it can be very successful. But again, it's that, stakeholder conversations that have to take place, because we're not really going to know what everybody needs or wants unless that happens.
Good, excellent. Councillor Dubowski and then Councillor Verla.
Thank you, Worship, and thank you for your presentation as well. It's nice to see this sort of thing going on. I have a few list of questions here. I guess I want to start off by asking, given that, to my understanding, this is like a private endeavor, is there any profit motive or incentive behind doing this, or is it just getting something that is non-existent currently?
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of both, right? We, in order for us to do this and for it to be sustainable, obviously there has to be a profit margin in there, right? We can't operate in a deficit, which has been proven. So yeah, we're not looking to make $1 million off of individuals, but we are looking to be able to continue it, make sure it's sustainable, and allow us to upgrade fleet, equipment, that type of thing. So there has to be something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and on that, how much would an average rider be looking at for a ticket to use?
We're still discussing that. So I know that there are similar companies, other provinces, and even in Saskatchewan here that will, for similar distances, would charge like $50 one way or something like that. I know that. For instance, around Regina, if you go from Regina to White City, an Uber, it can be as much as $80. So We're looking at all of those things, but I think the closer number is probably in that $50 range when you're looking at motor coaches and, you know, the distance from Regina to Saskatoon, and there are a couple of companies that are doing that. They're right in there.
Okay. So another thing that I also want to ask about is this currently operational, or are you just starting this now, this service?
We're going to start it. Our plan is to start it in May.
Okay.
We are fully ready to go. We're doing some upgrades right now to our website to smooth out the process of booking. But as far as our abilities, we could start tomorrow.
Okay. Have you taken this so far, or will you be taking it to the different communities along the route to Regina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Weyburn, and then there'll probably the communities along the way. I think the marketing will take care of that. Yeah.
And so the other thing, I guess, understanding that this is still very much in the kind of pre-process and all, I did see, where was it? Something about a first phase of public transportation. Do you have any ideas of what maybe future phases might look like, or do you have any plans for future phases regarding the operation of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we talk about the first phase, it's basic. Here's our baseline, right? We're going to do the Wednesday corridors. Can we expand that? Absolutely. Dependent, obviously, if there's a need for it, what kind of support we get from the communities. Will this be the only corridor? No, we're looking at other corridors within the province as well. And we're looking at partnering with other companies as well. So we are, it's more of a, could be a provincial scale down the road.
And my last question would be, is there any future intent, regardless of rider share or how many people actually utilize it, to get enough grant funding, whether it be municipally, provincially, or federally, to possibly fully subsidize this so that maybe riders don't have to fork over a cost for anything?
I guess it depends on our stakeholder discussions, right? I mean, I guess the support along the way, our initial intent is no, as far as that. But again, let's say there's a need to do Tuesdays because of other medical appointments and it's for specific stakeholders, whatever, then yeah, I think the open up to negotiations and discussions would be important.
Thank you.
Excellent. Councillor Grova and then Councillor Laser.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, so basically, I'm also the co-chair for the Community Wellness Committee, and we wrote a letter of support. We think this is a great idea. I'm also the manager of Creighton Lodge, and so I did talk to a few of my seniors, and they thought it was another great idea. You know, some of them said for medical appointments. Some said even just to go visit a family member. They have the option of staying for the day, staying for a week, you know, catching a ride back. Like, they're not sure of all the options available, but even for someone who's in Estevan and maybe has family in Weyburn or Mydale or Yellowgrass, like, they could along that route also find different ways to get off and then get back on. So, huge supporter of this initiative that you're going to take.
Thank you.
And I think that talking about affordable tickets, if we get people behind you, supporting you, riding the bus, you're going to have an ability to have affordable tickets moving into the future, because you'll be able to see your ridership numbers are stable, secure, and that's going to be also the other thing is if the riders can see that your bus is going no matter what, that's going to also give them that confidence to be able to go. So I know some people have tried this in the past, but part of it has been they don't have a solid plan. I think you guys have a solid plan, so I think it's going to work for you. And yeah, I will do what I can to help spread the word. I know the Wellness Committee will do what they can to help spread the word, and I think you're going to have great success with it. So
Thank you. Yeah, I think the key here is a safe and reliable service, right? Something that hasn't happened in the past. And I think that, you know, they start upgrading, they fizzle out quick, you know? So I think we're well established. We have, you know, a charter business and a tour business already, and this just supplements that, and it provides us an opportunity to get into the communities, right? And, you know, we look at the big picture. I'm former government with the Highway Transport Patrol, so, you know, safety is obviously very big with me. And, you know, we're going to provide that service to people who need it, and we're going to, you know, work with communities. A lot of what I saw in government and in this position is that people work in silos, right? They you know, for companies such as ours to go to the communities and deal with council or whoever, it just doesn't happen. They just try to do it on their own, right? And I think that's the mistake they're making. And we don't want to make that mistake. We want to start grassroots, right, with the people that are in the know. And then we'll work together, maybe strike up subcommittee, something, and it is to work with the stakeholders continuously as we move along.
Excellent. Good. Councilor Leeser?
Thank you. Just from the discussion, the one thing that kept coming to mind is that variable nature of medical appointments. So we were in Regina last week for an appointment that was scheduled at 3 o'clock, and we didn't walk into the physician's office until after 5 o'clock. So that might be a piece to kind of work around as well, is how do you give confidence and consistent, reliable service while also recognizing that potentially people will be left behind because there isn't a fixed time when it comes to healthcare quite often.
Yeah, certainly delays in healthcare, right? But I think that one of the solutions to that would be to book earlier. You know what I mean? Don't leave a 4 o'clock appointment because you may not get in, right? Or it's going to be late. So we do have a schedule to keep because we have to, you know, we're hoping there'll be many people that need to get in and out. So yeah. Hopefully we don't have too much of that and we can schedule those early. And again, that's where our discussions will come in, and we will certainly work with everyone to get that done. And then we also talked about, you know, just getting off in Regina or Weyburn or whatever. But you got to remember too, and this is coming back, the major corridors are opening up in Saskatchewan. You have companies currently doing the Regina to Saskatoon. So if they come from Estevan and we take them to Regina, they can go to Saskatoon. We have another company, or two companies now, that are going from Regina to Calgary or Edmonton. So it's open. So I mean, they can grab a bus, get to Regina. They can go anywhere they want extra-provincially. So I think, you know, now's the time to really to get this going and get those secondary corridors like this one is, and get it established.
Councilor Broba?
Thank you. I'm just going to bring up too, when we talk about a subsidized service, I think in the past STC was subsidized. I don't think I know it was completely subsidized. Now it was brought to the Community Wellness Committee that there are people in the community who are having to use a subsidized service of cabs in order to get children in foster care, different things happening, and they're having to get them to the city. So using the cab service, or, you know, a service that's paid for fee. And so I think this is where they could buy a bus voucher and get some of these people that are capable of age to travel the bus on their own as well. So I think that there is a way that, as Mr. Dubowski, Councillor Dubowski mentioned, is that there are ways to subsidize those that need subsidy. It would just be done maybe on a more individual basis versus the entire bus line being subsidized.
Yeah, 100%. And I have some former STC drivers that work with us, and you know, they say you get to know your passengers, right? The ones that are continually on the bus, and it's an added level of security because they take care of those kids or whoever is in need, right? Yeah, they develop a nice relationship.
Councilor Johnson?
Yes, thanks for your presentation this evening. I think it's worth knowing and stating that your business idea is an excellent idea. It covers a wide gap and a need for seniors and also for, you know, moving them around. And my question would be, if the bus starts in Estevan in the morning and it goes to Regina, do you then turn around at the end of the day and come back and drop those, maybe those same clients off? Is it a up and back in one day, or is it over?
Yeah, no, it's a day. So right now, I'll just give you an example, that please don't hold me to it, but we would start, we're coming from the Regina area anyway, so we take anybody down to Weyburn Estevan in the morning, probably start somewhere in that 6 a.m. kind of range, get to Estevan around 8:15, turn around, something like that, and then right back up through Weyburn, right back into Regina for appointments, whatever else. Then there's going to be delay. Maybe people just want to shop at Costco, whatever. We'll have several stops that we'll have advertised on the website. Hospitals, casino, shopping, kind of the big things. And then there'll be a delay of several hours, and then we'll start again. We'll pick up at, the hospitals and whatever else, and then we'll make our way back. And then anybody who wants to come back from Estevan, as we come back, or Weyburn, will have that opportunity to come back, and that's where we'll see some other people coming back for, to get onto those other routes that are going maybe out of province, or maybe going to Saskatoon or things like that. We'll try to align the schedules so that they work.
Okay.
So we're right in the process there. That's why I said don't hold me to it, because we're just trying to align many schedules.
I was just wondering how it was all going to fit in and work together, and there's a lot of communication on that end too that you just talked about with other clients. Okay, no, that's good. Are you operating in Saskatchewan right now, in communities right now, or is this?
This will be our first corridor.
Your first corridor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a few things on the go.
Yeah, you were mentioning that.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of threw me off. I was thinking, like, you're already out there.
Yeah, we are in the planning phase. This is probably, we have 2 corridors that we want to start here in the spring. So this is one of them, and we're working on the other one right now. It's a little behind on it than this one, and then we're working on a fairly big project that opens things up out east. So.
Okay, very good, and thank you for coming to Estevan and telling us about your bus service. And I do like the big bus that you have in the picture there, and I'm sure you have lots of those vehicles similar to that.
Oh yeah, we have that's our flagship for comfort, and it's got a coffee maker and whatever else in the back. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that one. And like I said, we have 2 buses that have the wheelchair lift currently. Mm-hmm. We're going to get another one, and with our booking system, anybody who has that need, they book. We know they need it, so we'll make sure that bus is on the line for that day.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
you.
you.
To bring it back to Kristen's point, these buses have lap belts, and I've taken my toddler when he was an infant in a car seat. So these buses are ready to go car seat if you need to take a child somewhere, because I've done it myself.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Excellent. Any other questions, comments out there? Do we have a motion to enter partnership for awareness/marketing? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Perfect. Councillor Ruba. Motion?
What's your motion?
Yeah, pretty much. But just what the mayor said, Worship, is basically we do enter into a partnership with Paradigm Travel to make sure that we are behind them with the marketing and to get the word out and to support them in the ways with the marketing that we can.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Dubowski. No more questions, comments? All in favor? There we go. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you for your time.
Fabulous news. I heard casino in there, right?
I have to throw that in there.
Let's right by the Cornwall.
That's right. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you for coming in. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Oh, I guess we don't need that. Dave's just on him right away. Minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of February 9th? Councillor Waleser, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Original communications, delegations, and petition. GFL January 26 reports. Do we have a motion? Councillor Dubowski, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, we have an introduction tonight. We have our new librarian, Blazy Abraham. Come on up to the microphone, turn it on there. Thank you for coming in tonight. You know, council wanted to invite you. We heard you were new to town. We wanted to show you the chamber and welcome you to the city. So,
thank you for inviting me.
thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, Josh especially, who coordinated my invitation here,
Yes.
and all the esteemed members who are present. My name is Blazy Abraham, and I have come to Canada in 2022 from India. So I have done MBA from India, and here I came as an international student at SAS Polytech. I did my postgraduate diploma in business management and another postgraduate certificate from Niagara College in Ontario. And I have worked with my college. That was my first job as an HR assistant in SAS Polytech. Then I was with SAS Health as Health Information Manager. And right now I'm with the city, the public library. I'm very excited about this opportunity.
Excellent. That's good. Any questions, comments out there? Councilor Leeser?
Thank you and welcome to Estevan.
Thank you.
One of the library's biggest fundraisers of the year is their book sales. People have it circled on their calendar, boxes waiting to deliver books. When would you like the community to begin dropping off their donations for the spring book sale?
Actually, we have a lot of donations already in the library every day. Our back rooms are already almost full, and we still are inviting a lot of donations. And the book sale is scheduled on 23rd of April. So that is something which has been happening earlier with Jason as well. And I've been given to understand that we have a lot of books which are still left over, so we again sort it. Whatever can be used in the library and other resources, we use it. And there is also a volunteer in Estevan who comes and picks up the remaining books. Yeah.
Excellent. Any other? Councilor Verba?
Thank you, Your Worship. And yes, welcome to Estevan. I think hopefully you're already feeling very welcome by the city, but you actually now have a career in a position where you're the hub of the city, really, because the library has so many different people coming in. And so I think you're going to get to learn the people of the city very quickly.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's nice. I hope you meet lots of people right away.
I know Kevin because he is our board member. I met our board members, and I have looked up people in the city council. So I even tried to find out about our mayor and things like that because I'm new. And I'm still exploring. Estevan is a great city. I mean, I found it very good in terms of the type of community we have. We have very diverse community, including, migrants and the local people and everyone.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments out there? Seeing none, well, again, thank you for visiting our chamber. And welcome to the city, and all best in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Yeah.
Up next, Creighton Lodge, Save the Date 2026 fundraiser. April 25th, 2026. Oh, sorry. Am I stealing your thunder?
No, not at all. I'm just actually going to hand it over to Brian, Councillor Johnson. I can't call anyone Councillor tonight. Councillor Johnson, because I'm going to call a conflict for this just because of being the city manager, or I'm the councillor. Creighton Lodge man.
Noted that Councilor Verba is leaving the chamber. Right. Awesome. Well, it looks like you're on the spot here, Councilor Johnson.
Yes. There's a very big fundraiser. I'm going to put the mic on here. There's a very big fundraiser for the Creighton Lodge coming in the future. It's called Save the Dance, or the Date, sorry, Save the Date. It's down here. It's for Creighton Lodge Presents Magic and Music, April 25th, 2006. And it's going to be over at the Power Dodge Arena, I believe. Or at the curling rink? Okay, curling rink. That's where it's going to be hosted. And it starts basically on at 5:30 p.m. and there's also the dinner that's going to be at 6:30. It's says here, though, it says the Power Dodge curling rink down here. So that's I'm correct with that. I mean, you're correct with that. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, now I'm going to move on to another little piece of information here. I was presented here, also have a letter that I must read. Creighton Lodge. Creighton Lodge is a level 1 and a level 2 assisted living complex owned by 5 rural municipalities. The RM of Estevan, the RM of Simri, the RM of Coalfields, the RM of Benson, and the RM of Cambrai. with the support of the City of Estevan. We are very proud of the high-quality home we've provided for seniors in Southeast Saskatchewan and remain committed to ensuring Creighton Lodge continues to serve our community for many years to come. Our annual fundraisers support our goals in helping to maintain and enhance our facility and programs and care of our residents. These initiatives would not be possible without the generous support of our community. Join us for an unforgettable evening of entertainment and community spirit on April 25th, 2006 at the Power Dodge Curling Center. The night features magic by Matt Gore and also live music by Tequila Mockingbird and exciting live and silent auctions. There's also 4 other different things that can be happening that evening. There's going to be either cash donations, and donations will be that are given will also receive a tax receipt, will be issued for that amount. You can purchase a ticket. You can purchase a ticket to our fundraiser for $100 if you're interested in going. Or if you have enough people together, you can buy a table for $800. Sponsor the event, which I think is key for a number of companies in the city. Sponsor the event with an advertising fee of $2,500, and the table is included to be one of our sponsors for the evening. And also, if you wish, you can donate a prize, provide a prize or a cash donation to our live and silent auctions, and a letter recognizing your donation will be sent to you. So get involved or purchase tickets. You can call Shelley Veroba at 306-634-4154. And I'm just going to also mention here that the money raised will go to kitchen equipment now that the kitchen project is complete, and that we stayed on budget for the build itself. But there's this fundraiser that we're hosting is going to be for kitchen equipment that we so desperately are looking at needing and enhancing that kitchen, that new facility. So I would like everybody to mark their calendars, and everyone, if they can attend, please attend this event, because it's really good for Creighton Lodge and the seniors and helps out tremendously in the community. We have a big waiting list right now. I think at the last meeting that was held last Wednesday, it was mentioned that there's at least 240 people on our waiting list to get placed into the Creighton Lodge facility. So it's good to have this, and it's nice to see that the RMs are working together on this project, and they have been for many years, and this is continuing. It's great for Estevan and great for the seniors. So thank you, Mayor Cernick. That's all I need to say this evening.
Excellent. On this. Thank you for that. Do we have a motion to sponsor the event? Councillor Johnson.
I'd like to make the motion that we sponsor the event at the Creighton Lodge event that's coming up. It's called Magic.
2,500 or 800?
Typically, I'm looking over at my shoulder here, but I think we need to go for the 2,500 for that whole amount. It's good for our seniors.
Do we have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Elliott, any more questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? There we go. Save the date.
Did you vote?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, everybody was in, aren't we? No. Oh, opposed?
Okay.
Carried. Were we?
Yep.
I see that. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Enter Councillor Veroba. Up next, Water Services Manager, Water Quality Report, January 2026. Do we have a motion to accept quality? Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Mouse. Any other questions, comments out there for this? Seeing none, all in favor? City Treasurer, SAS Recycles extension date. I'll read it for you. November 10th, 2025, Council submitted their intent to participate in the SAS Recycles-led collection model as the long-term approach for curbside multi-unit residential recycling programs. The program participation model for the City of Estevan will take effect on February 1st, 2028. The existing services agreement for the city is scheduled to terminate December 1st, 2027. Due to the difference in dates, SAS Recycle proposes to extend the end date of the existing service agreement to January 31st, 2028. Recommendation, require formal resolution from City Council to accept the extension date proposed by SAS Recycles. Do we have any questions for City Treasurer? Oh, seeing none. Councillor Dubowski, motion or to accept?
Thank you, Your Worship. I had a question. Is this like really only a good thing to extend it, or like there's no negative downsides to doing this at all?
No, it's just a simple 2-month extension, just so we can last till the new program
Okay.
starts.
Okay.
And it's just that we need a formal resolution from council.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. So that's a motion, Councillor Dubowski?
Correct, that is a motion.
Thank you for that. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Mouse, any more questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Seth, Executive Director, Gordon Moore, SMR Supply Chain Workshop, Rural Festival. You know the role. Have a seat. Turn the mic on.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to take a moment just to let you know of 2 events that Seth is putting on and asking for your help just to pass it around to the community. So the first one is the SMR supply chain. So last year I spent a bunch of time, a lot of time, carving out a piece for Southeast Saskatchewan, as we are going to be obviously the hosts for this, and working with the federal government. Received funding. There'll be more information about that in May. To build a business ecosystem for the SMR. So that would be more than just parts and trades. Supply chain also includes food and beverage. Right, because when you have a big construction site, you need a lot of people going there and onwards. It also means bookkeeping and project management and all these other wonderful things. And just to like light the fire under people so they can understand, the rest of the province and other communities are already seeing $5 billion about to be spent in our neighborhood. And as such, when I was presenting at the Canadian Nuclear Conference in Saskatoon this fall, the head of SaskPoly made an announcement to say that they will be putting in the nuclear training facility in Saskatoon. We wrote a letter. It's been dealt with. Tony and Jeff delivered it. But the point there is they're doing what they need to do to get their part of the pie. So we need to step up as a community as a whole to take part of this. So in all of this, the first thing that's going to happen is on March the 18 and 19 at the Estevan campus for Southeast College, we'll be putting on a workshop, and it is being presented by SIMSA. SIMSA has the contract to build out the entire province supply chain. Day 1 will be like for food and beverage services, things that don't need so many like ISO and CSA certifications. And then day 2 would be all those extra certifications. So if you're in trade or manufacturing, you do both days. If you're services, you do the first day. And there is a 1-day ticket and there is a 2-day ticket. And you can register online at the Southeast College, or you can register through my website, which is sethub.ca. So just help get this information out to the community. The big thing that, some people in the business community here, I don't know, should I be involved in this? Is someone's about to drop that kind of money over 10 years, whether you're a trucking company or food and beverage, you have a 10-year contract of good money and good services where you can build out your business. And then that helps not just you, but helps the community as a whole. So there's that one. The next one is, so we had to change our conference name because Donald Trump makes us not being able to use the word iced anymore.
Oh.
So we are now calling it Innovate Rural Festival and Forum. And we're moving it up to the spring from the fall because the Innovation Week is in the last week of May. And we also have some really fascinating co-hosts. So the IRPP, which is a policy think tank, actually created by the federal government under the conservative government, has been doing a lot of good policy writing and research on rural development as well as transition and things like that. So they're co-hosting it with us. This will bring us more of a national lens to it. Saskatchewan Economic Development Association, CEDA, is also co-hosting with us. And as usual, Southeast College, who's a wonderful host, will be doing it. And it will be May 25 and 26. And it is at Southeast College. They've given us the entire college, so we can take over that. So that's fantastic. But we're also calling it a festival, not just a conference, because the feedback from the community as a whole, because this is for the community, so that the community can understand what opportunities there are for them coming into the future. Right? So we're calling it a festival, and so that we can bring in the arts. And when you think about what art is, it is innovative in its own right. So Councillor Mouse is part of the committee that will be bringing in the festival, the art side of things. So just would love your help in getting the word out into the community so that they can attend this event, which is for them. So that's it.
Excellent. Any questions, comments for Mr. Moore? Nothing. I just attended the breakfast there last Friday, and I would say it's probably the first time I've kind of seen the local construction entrepreneurs in the room. So you all know who was there. It was great to see you guys out there, and hopefully we just keep gaining momentum here, because as you say, this is a big deal coming, and there's already, I get emails every day. I call them vultures, coming to try to come to our city and, you know, inquiring about the nuclear. So again, yeah, we got to be prepared, and I think we're well on our way, so we thank you for that. So
you're welcome. Thank you.
Excellent. So yeah, we'll do our best to get her out there and market it, and thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
City Clerk half-mast flag protocol. So this kind of came about. Obviously, it's a tradition probably for I don't know how long, but we didn't really know what was going on. Councillor Mouse kind of inquired about the Tumbler Ridge tragedy in BC there, so we didn't know the protocol, so here we are. You need to fill us in on this, Josh.
Thank you, Your Worship, and to Council. Through Your Worship, like you mentioned at the February 11, 2026 Police Board meeting, this came up, and there was direction to bring this to Council. Just some background and discussion. The city currently has a flag policy, which aligns the governance process for flag raising requests from individuals, events, or organizations. But the policy does not currently address protocols for flying flags at half-mast. So, in line with best practices for a half-mast flag raising in Saskatchewan, a review of other cities was conducted. Based on the review, the City of Estevan has the following options. Council may pass a resolution directing administration to fly the flag at half-mast for a specific period. Council may direct administration to develop a formal policy by amending the current policy to reflect something that speaks to half-mast flag raising. And then finally, Council may delegate the authority for flying flags at half-mast to the office of the mayor and the city manager's office. The recommendation of Council recommendation of administration would be that Council delegate the authority for flying flags at half-mast to the office of the mayor and to also the office of the city manager. Should the mayor or city manager require input from Council, Council will be consulted through means other than a Council meeting. I welcome any questions from Council.
Okay. Councillor Johnson?
Yeah, I just want some clarification. I know we have a number of facilities around Estevan, and there's flagpoles in front of all of them, mostly. Is that including just what we have at City Hall here with this flag lowering policy? And we have 3 flagpoles out here too. So are we just doing the Canadian flag, or is it the Saskatchewan flag? And is it encompassing all of our facilities, all of our flagpoles, if we make a decision on this evening?
So the policy as it stands covers all of the city, and I stand to be corrected by the city manager.
Thank you, City Clerk, to Councillor Johnson. I know some of our poles are very easily available to put them in half-mast, some are not. I know in the past, sometimes we've just identified the police station and City Hall as ones that are brought to half-mast. We haven't always went to the ball diamonds or that and removed those. So my recommendation would be to put them at half-mast on flags where they can be put to half-mast, who have the appropriate hardware on them to make that doable.
I totally agree with you. There's quite a few on ball diamonds, and we have, unless you can't access them properly, there's probably a lot of damage we can do, and maybe it's a safety issue too. So thank you very much.
Councillor Verba?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I would make the recommendation that administration council delegate the authority for flying flags at half-mast to the office of the mayor and the city manager's office. And I do agree with the fact it's just the city hall and the police department, because we have the flags at the museum, and I think the art gallery flagpoles were removed. But they're just two organizations that do it on their own and decide when they're going to do it. So I think if we stick to just the two buildings, that would be suffice.
Okay. Do we have a second for that motion? Councillor Elliott, any more questions, comments out there? Councillor Leeser?
Thank you, Your Worship. I do have a concern delegating the authority. An example that comes to mind would be the ongoing war in Ukraine. At the onset of that war, a comment was made in this room that we would wear a pin representing the flag of Ukraine until the war came to an end, because at that time, people were of the opinion that it would be a very brief war, when in fact that war continues to rage on. In a situation where there is a flag lowering, I think either a consistent policy or more voices at the decision-making table is important to ensure that there is consistency in who the flag is lowered for and the length of time that it remains lowered.
City Manager?
Thank you, Your Worship. So I know myself and the city clerk did discuss this, that bringing it to a council meeting to get everyone's voice in there would be appropriate, but understanding that some events will happen in between council meetings and the period that it's lowered wouldn't coincide with that. So we did put in the recommendation that council would be consulted through other means, whether that's email, text message, or something to ensure that we are complying with what council would like. But if we want to make it so it is a more formal council meeting decision, we can definitely amend that at this point.
Councillor Verba?
So yes, Councillor Leeser, I agree with you 100%. I thought of that when I read this recommendation, but then I realized the same thing, exactly what the city manager just said, is a lot of these things when they happen, it might go over an email anyways just to see what council's decision is. I think doing this, we're going to be able to see if it works or not. And if it isn't working, or if we think there are situations happening that are maybe being missed, or maybe it's being done too often, or whatever, if we see something not working, then I think at that time we could bring it back for a policy change. But I think all of this is going to do is basically say we're going to continue to do what we're doing right now, but hopefully not miss things, because now the power they'll actually feel like you can make that decision without waiting for everyone to get back with an email. So that was kind of the background where I thought this would be appropriate until we see it's no longer appropriate.
Okay, sounds good. We have a motion and a second there. All in favor? Opposed? Got her?
Yep.
Land Development Manager, mid-decade OCP review. Come on up to the microphone. Tell us all about what you got going on, and I guess even why it came to council. Just
thank you, Your Worship and Council. Yeah, we've got a few things here for housekeeping. Some of it's housekeeping on the OCP, and other ones should be a more in-depth discussion. The last OCP was passed with the idea that it would last about 10 years before we do an in-depth review. And so halfway through it, or when something happens, probably would be good to go through it. So I had a few items here that we could talk about. First one is affordable housing policy. As probably everyone in council is aware, the Canada Mortgage and Housing, for example, has been pushing the as a right type housing in order to be able to obtain funding for certain things. In some cases, that can be making up to a fourplex or sixplex an automatic approval, right? Maybe this would be an opportune time to have a discussion on that. Tiny homes, something that I get asked on a regular basis, means to incentivize new housing construction in older neighborhoods. Secondary suite development, there is a program with the province for that. There was a program at the city level during the last boom. There isn't one now. This really speaks, this item speaks a lot to a concern of mine. I'm actually quite concerned that when we get into the next boom cycle here for the city, which I believe is coming fairly soon, what do we do for housing? We're short all around, and we have some projects coming up, but the one that I'm worried about is the family where maybe the one spouse is an admin assistant and the other one's a truck driver and they have a couple kids. Where are they going to live? We haven't built a multifamily dwelling in almost a decade, right? So that is something that's a big concern of mine, and I thought that's something that we could maybe have a discussion on. Floodplain policy is another one. Halfway through last year, with no notification whatsoever until it was done, an order in council was issued by the province lowering the 1 in 500 year floodplain elevation, which was the standard for decades in Saskatchewan, to 1 in 200. That means a lot of areas in the city that were in or abutting the floodplain elevation are now technically high and dry, probably. The province has said that they will follow the city's guidelines in an OCP if the city chooses to keep 1 in 500 in place. It's probably a good idea to have a discussion on that going forward. Future growth areas, with our offsite development levy, we did a review on that in 2020 for those councillors that were here back then. Prior to that, what happened with the offsite development levy, it was one size fits all. In 2013, a study was done identifying what would be the cost to service the entire city boundary. And they just divided by the number of acres, and that's what you paid, whether it was greenfield or upgrading a 1930s era house on King Street or something. What we did in 2020 is we went and divided into different areas, and what's happened now is different areas of the city are cheaper to develop than others, and so it might be a good opportunity to run this by council, because sometimes you meet with developers prior to me meeting with them and having them know that nowadays, for example, if you're going to build near the hospital, you don't have to put forward money towards a intersection on Kensington, which is the way it used to be. Or that buying a row of old houses somewhere in the city and then putting up row housing in its place has a off-site development levy, which is a fraction of what it would be to build something new. Neighborhood plans, I'd like to go through that again with council. We have a number of plans, one or two here that were pretty much ready to be adopted, and then they weren't. The election was one of the things that stopped that. So that'd be an opportunity to go through that. There's also another piece of legislation that council may be aware of. It's not adopted yet, but it's called the Build Schools Faster Act. And a number of the elements of that bill, should it pass, amends the Planning and Development Act. It changes the manner in which Municipal reserves can be taken. It changes the amount of reserves that can be taken, and changes as well the scope of the off-site development levy program. So if that's adopted, potentially later this year, that could change a few things. People at risk policy. Everyone in council is aware of what happened last year from January to the spring. If we're going to look at updating the OCP, maybe that is something we can look at. In preparation for that, I had a discussion with a professor at University of Regina, and she was so kind as to have her grad students send me a compilation of best practices from a land use perspective, like what locations would be better suited for that than others, that kind of thing. And so if we were to do this, that might be a good thing to put in. Condominiums converting to traditional subdivisions, that's something council's probably or may have to deal with here in the coming months. What kind of standards or procedures should we employ in a case like that? And then, of course, other topics as determined by council and administration. Maybe there's something that council administration would like to revisit. Because things have changed a little bit since 2022. I remember at that time when the OCP was going through the public review, I showed that there were, in my view, over the next 10 years, there was going to be growth in the city. I had a number of people, consultants especially, telling me that I was off my rocker, and I'm here to do my part to try and prove them wrong. And I think we'll be successful in that if we work together on this. So with that, Mayor and Council, I provided some options. One would be to maybe have an item in closed session once a month or whenever you have a gap that we could discuss, or we put like a half-day session, one or two of them, and go through some of these things. And with that, leave it up to you.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a option for sure, to just add one topic to close the here and end, but it's up to council. Do we have a motion to do whatever? Yeah, Councilor Leeser, sorry.
I make the motion that we schedule one topic per month, allowing land development time to prepare the reports necessary. I think over the course of the last year, the community has really shown that there is an appetite to discuss land use, to discuss proposed housing solutions, and that we need to be addressing these early and often. And I would like to see that move forward in all of the areas that you've already identified.
Excellent. Do we have a seconder for that motion? Councilor Mouse, any more question?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Cernik. I'm wondering if once a month a topic is enough, because there's so many topics. We're going to be doing this in 2028. If a couple of half-day sessions where a number of topics are discussed, possibly. I know it's a difficult topic or difficult topics, but I have a feeling that if we do one a month, we're going to be here until the cows come home, so to speak.
We got time. Councilor.
I'll second the motion, but also because there's only 7 headings, really. They're all got, some of them have multiple. Some will be more in-depth than others. There might even be some of them on here that we may want to send to a little bit of an open house and get some public feedback on them. Those one might take multiple sessions, but I agree. I think within a year we should be able to do them, and on some months we may be able to do 2. So I think if we have the recommendation, the motion that we strive to do 1 a month, and yeah, I think it'll be good.
Great. Any more questions, comments? Councilor Dubowski?
Thank you, Worship. Not necessarily an important question, just a point of clarification for me. There is a section here, floodplain policy. So I just want to understand what, in probably the easiest to understand, most basic terms, what is a 1 500-year floodplain standard?
One 500-year floodplain elevation basically is the elevation where the hydrologist would determine you would have a 1 in 500-year chance of a flood of that magnitude occurring. That doesn't mean you'll get it one every 500 years. Sometimes you get it multiple years. And that floodplain also, I can clarify, that is for the Souris River. That's not dealing with a cloudburst.
Okay. Any other questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. There we go. You have some work to do. Up next, public hearings. So up first, Land Development Bylaw 2026-2105, Planning Services Fees Bylaw Amendment of 2021-2051. So in this, we did first readings a few weeks ago. Was there any inquiries into?
No inquiries, Your Worship.
No inquiries, so, give her on this.
We would need a motion to accept the information to proceed with the public hearing.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept this and proceed with a public hearing? Councilor Leeser, second by Councilor Dubowski. Questions, comments? Councilor Baroba, all in favor? Okay, now we're in the public hearing. So is there anyone in the gallery? There's no one here. Oh, sorry, Blaze, you're still. All eyes are on you. Is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on the proposed land development services report on amending of the city's planning fees bylaw? Did you flinch there, Roberta? I'll ask again, is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on this particular matter? Second call. Seeing none, His Worship the Mayor ascertained that no one was present in the gallery who wished to address council on this matter.
We'll need a motion approving.
A motion to approve the.
Proceed to second and third reading.
A motion to proceed to second and third reading. Councilor Veroba, Councilor Elliott, second. Questions, comments, seeing none. All in favor? Approval to move to second and third reading. So now we are on to the next public hearing, correct?
Correct.
So we have a motion to move this bylaw, sorry, let me just go there. Bylaw 2026-2106, zoning bylaw amendment of 2022-2061. Do we have a motion to send this to a public hearing? Councilor Dubowski, seconded by Councilor Mouse. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Now we're in public hearing. This is the zoning bylaw. Okay. Is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on the proposed land development services report on amending the City of Estevan's zoning bylaw? Blaze? No. Is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on this particular matter? Second call. Seeing no one, His Worship the Mayor ascertained that there was no one present in the gallery who wished to address council on this matter. Can we get a motion to send this bylaw to second and third readings? Councilor Leeser, second by Councilor Dubowski. All in favor? There we go. Up first, consideration of bylaws. Bylaw 2026-2105, amending planning services fees of bylaw 2021-2051. Do we have a motion to accept this second reading? Councilor Elliott, second by Councilor Veroba. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Up next, bylaw 2026-2106, amending zoning bylaw 2022. Third reading. We'll go to that one. Do we have a motion to go to third reading? Councilor Elliott, second by Councilor Mouse. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Bylaw 2026-2106, amending zoning bylaw of 2022-2061. Motion to approve second reading. Councilor Dubowski, seconded by Councilor Johnson. Any questions, comments? Seeing none. All in favor? Carried. Third reading. Do we have a motion for third reading for this bylaw? Councilor Leeser, seconded by Councilor Elliott. Questions, comments? Seeing none. All in favor? Carried. There you have it, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are at inquiries. Councillor Verova.
Thank you, Worship. I just had a request to just advertise that tomorrow, on February 24th, at the Church of God, the Living Hope Ranch is hosting a free youth safety presentation, and it's regarding the online safety for children. So if there's anybody that's interested in seeing if their kids would like to attend that, they can call 634-7955 for more information.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Councillor Mouse.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Cernak. I just wanted to, after our small snowfall from last week, I'd just like to thank and give big compliments to the city crew and for doing a very good job in spite of a few small setbacks in town, but by and large, a really, really good job, and thank you very much for that.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Councillor Elliott.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Actually, concurrent to that, my boss in Edmonton is thinking he might have to move here because he still can't see his pavement. This week in Saskatchewan, it is Tele-Miracle Week.
Oh.
Right? So if you see somebody raising funds and absolutely contribute something, this weekend you can watch it on television or online. And yeah, please support.
Excellent. Thank you for that. City Treasurer. Councillor Dubowski.
Thank you, Worship. Just to piggyback on Councillor Mouse and Elliott there. Yeah, just fantastic work to the road crews there for cleaning up the city after that rather out of nowhere snowfall. Yeah, I mean, I left my house at like 20 after 7 and all the streets were already, or at least the main arteries were already cleared and easily drivable. So yeah, it's just big props to all of them.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Councillor Johnson.
Hats off to roads and drainage crew and all the crews the city have that were helping in the snow removal. Also the contractors, local contractors, and sharing their equipment and their crews. We did a super job of picking up all that snow, and we got a lot of moisture now for the spring, which is great because I was thinking how dry it's going to be and kind of worried about everything, you know, with the fires and stuff like that we see in Saskatchewan if we don't get that moisture. But we got a good dumping of snow and we picked her up in a timely fashion. So thank you very much.
The farmers in Arizona are dancing. Councillor Leeser.
Thank you, Your Worship. A reminder to community groups that citywide registration isn't just for sports teams anymore. Anybody of any age demographic is welcome to sign their team up for a table and share your passions with the community, recruit new members, but you do have to register by March 6th at noon, and citywide registration will take place on March the 25th. March is an exciting month. So the next Chamber of Commerce Coffee Talk that is open to the entire community is going to be featuring the comprehensive school principal speaking about the job fair. So how to connect local business owners with high school students who are looking for employment this summer. You can register online and it's free for anyone to attend. And then right after the coffee talk is done is when the City of Estevan is having their coffee with council. So that will also be Wednesday, March the 4th from 9:15 to 10:15 at the Days Inn. And we're going to be looking at the summer construction season, talking about the projects and the plans that are in place. Also on March 4th, there's a women's networking lunch being hosted at the Old Stone Inn. Each month they invite female entrepreneurs from Southeast Saskatchewan to share their story, to encourage others. That information is available online. March 8th is International Women's Day, and this year to celebrate, the Women Entrepreneurs of Saskatchewan group is hosting a reception in Estevan to celebrate on March the 10th. The tickets are free, but you do need to register to attend.
Excellent. Thank you for that. City Manager?
Nothing out of your worship.
City Clerk?
Nothing to add, Your Worship.
Excellent. No, I just, again, just to the city crews and everybody involved in the cleaning up the snow. It was amazing. I had so many compliments. Even that morning, like you said, 7:30, I'm getting all these text messages still in my pajamas wondering what's going on. Then I looked out the window, oh, there's 2 feet of snow. So it was good to see. So again, motion to go into committee. Councillor Verova, Councillor Dubowski, all in favor? We are in committee.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today